From this being covered, so you have this on your client's eyes, and then you undo it, right? So when we connect with the head, one of the things to remember about connecting with the head is that you're going to be over their face. So you don't want to be blowing your breath right into their face. They could blow their breath into your face, but be aware of that. One time I was chewing gum and gum came out and bounced off his forehead. It wasn't fun. Okay, so be aware of that. So usually when I come, you could come to one knee when you start. You could use a chair to start, but you're not going to be able to do it like Swedish with the chair. So I come underneath and I connect. The first thing we do is I do the head cradle. And the head cradle is that's where the ear goes, right? So right in there like that. And then this way the same thing, like that. And what it looks like on the back is those two fingers are crossed. So that's the head cradle with the ears in there. See how those are crossed? These two fingers? No? No? See that? See how they're crossed either way. And then the ears are going to be in these holes like that. And then that way your hands are on the table so the head doesn't rest on the table anymore. So you turn it, you put it in, turn it, put it in like that. You can see my fingers are crossed like that. And I hold that. This is a critical one to know. It's a hard one to get right because it seems so simple. But actually holding the head like that for a while and just cradling it. And then what you want to do is you want to wait, take a deep breath, and just stretch a little bit and hold. And if you just do this on somebody, this is good for kids or somebody who's had trauma. If you run into somebody who's been traumatized, if you know they haven't had a neck injury, but they've hurt themselves, or somebody's upset, this is actually one of the only techniques of massage first aid. So this is a polarity move where you're just holding. And what will happen after a while is if the client feels comfortable enough and has the breath enough, then you'll feel the head kind of relax into your fingers like he just did there. So it's subtle. So you guys who were in here and heard Craig talk to chiropractors said that they practice feeling human hair through sheets of paper, and that's here so you can really feel the head when it starts to release. So practice that today, just holding. And this helps you to ground too, right?
And are you, your fingers in the back, are they kind of like touching the occipital ridge? Or?
Oh yeah, they're just holding basically on the occipital ridge. Yeah, they're kind of hooked in. They're hooked in. But these two are more hooked in the occipital ridge. These are holding in the back, these two are hooked in, and these go around the ears. Right? But to do it, you just roll it over. See, I put my hand in there. This hooks the occipital ridge. These fingers are going to get crossed. Roll it over. Fingers in there. This hooks the occipital ridge, and those two cross. And you pull it out and just hold it. So that's the head cradle. Really good one to know. Now, this next series, you don't have to do it exactly like it's on there. There are some parts of it that you'd want to put in sequence. But at some point, if you decide not to do the finger roll first and you just want to roll the head out, that's good. But a lot of you guys, when you're rolling, you're just doing like little ones like this. That feels weird. Get big ones in, right? Just slow, just to feel what the neck's doing. It's almost like assessing, just to see what's going on. So the first one we do is the finger roll. And the finger roll you're doing, again, you're using the back of the table. And we're just going to roll like that. So it's like this, just rolling, rolling, and I'm using those three fingers. Basically those two, and you start from the top, come this way, roll, right? So just rolling, and what it's like is I'm just getting in there. And remember, you're not on the spine, you're on either side of the spine. So this takes a little while to learn, so I want you to practice this today. And notice I'm on one knee. You could do it from here as well, but be more dynamic. Roll, 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 and then come up a little bit. Roll, 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 come up a little bit. Roll, 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 come up a little bit. So you have to move in incremental amounts. Try to get 3 or 4 or 5 and roll, roll, okay? You could all alternate, try it, roll that way, roll that way. I've never really done it that way. I've done it, but I haven't shown it that way. Roll, roll. I like to do double. That's really the best way to do it. Hold there and I stretch again, right? So that's the first one. The next one on there is the claw finger on the left side and the right side. This looks harder than it is, but there is a technique to it. So what you do is you come around and you hook your fingers in there. If you go too far, like I said, you're in there on the jugular or carotid artery, but you hook it right here like that. And then you put your arm like this, so it's like football, like getting a lateral, like if you're the fullback, the quarterback turns around, this is how you grab the football and run with it. So it's not like this, it's like this, okay? It goes like this on the other side. But really what you're doing is, you're coming around and you're hooking your fingers. You guys have to get on this side to see this. Hooking your fingers in there, and you kind of hook it, and then your head comes here. Now if you go just with your hand out here like this, it's going to feel weird. If you bring your elbow more towards the ear when you do this and lower down. And then I turn and I keep my fingers hooked, and they just moved a little bit until I get to about right there, and then when the head doesn't go anymore, the fingers keep pulling. And pull through. If you have fingernails, you're not going to be able to do it. Okay, let me show it to you again from this side. So his nose is turned to this way, to the right. So when his nose is turned to the right, I hook way over on the left side of his neck. So it's almost like that makes no sense. And then my hand comes over his forehead like that. And I hook in, and I just stay hooked, pushing in. So I'm pushing in. I'm actually doing some acupressure at that point. And then I keep it like that. And at the end, I just pull it through, so it's sliding through. Now let's do the other side, right? So the other side, so I want to do this side. So to do that, I have to lift the head up, hook my fingers in on that side, right? Hand comes over here. Here's that room. You have your elbow up here, it's going to feel weird. Have your elbow as low as you can get it, almost touching, right? Put my fingers in. Pull, push in with your fingers. Right there. So the last finger's on the occipital ridge. This one's right down in there. And I curl, pull through, and I keep that pressure, just pushing pressure, and at the end, pull it through. It's a really nice move when you get it right. It's like, oh. So that would be the only move I've taught you in the whole kata where you actually slide across the skin. A little bit. Only move where you slide across the skin a little bit. And truly, if you want to, you could slide not at all. Just pull it through, push it, just slide the slightest bit and then stop it. I like to slide through and follow it through. So that's the claw finger. So when it says crossed arm neck stretches, that's the same thing. It's learning that. So you have to get up to do this. Again, when you're looking at these, the only thing that's not on the long form is where the body should be. And that's why you want to write it in there when you're doing it and watching it. Because if you don't know where my body is, when you try to do that step, you're not going to get it. You'll be like, how do I? You have to not only see what I'm doing, but how I'm standing. Two parts of this. That's why you guys get confused when it's time to go to the body. You're like, ah. Because you have to really remember. So here's the same thing. So we do cross arm stretch, we're in sumo. And we bring a hand up and hook on the shoulder. Hand up and hook on the shoulder. So there's a stretch already. Now the trick is to make the neck long. I could jam it, but I want to do it. I want to leave it long and stretch. And pushing the shoulders down. Right? Stretch. Now I could do it the opposite way, right? I could put this arm in first and this arm underneath. Okay, see how that feels. And stretch. And then the cross arm stretch, watch. The head goes that way. Stretch. And the head goes that way. And look, I'm coming from here. I'm coming from my legs. And stretch. Okay? There's another cross arm stretch. Okay? So that's where you're actually crossing your arms on the shoulder. There's other cross arm stretches. So learning with the neck and shiatsu, all the stretches. So you could take it like this, right? And you could stretch this way with this hand here, but that's not a cross arm stretch. Cross arm stretch would be where as I came over, I pushed on this shoulder, or I pushed that way. And see how that stretches in there? The trick there is not to put your arm down on his face, right? Stretch. And then take it here and cross arm that way. And that's a nice one to learn too. Now, when you're doing that, guys, look at what I'm doing. Look where the chin is. So I'm bringing, if the chin doesn't leave that plane. It just goes over and stretches as I push. That gets more of the posterior neck muscles, the ones in the back. But see, I want to get the sternocleidomastoid. Watch what the neck does. It does all kinds of stuff. I rotate it over. Then I stretch. Now, the chin's not pointing up anymore. It's pointing towards that shoulder, but it's stretching. But now it's stretching more of the anterior, sternocleidomastoid. Two different stretches. Watch. Stretch one. Stretch two. Okay, so you could be rolling the head. Don't fall asleep. Okay. I know my voice is just going. Neck stretches. Oh, okay, so, and we do that on the other side. Hand goes in, watch. Cross arm there, pushing here. Nice firm pressure as we stretch. Or, again, grab it, turn it over, and stretch. That's one form of, and then these, like I showed you, cross arm stretches. Where you put them in, how you put them in is up to you. But do them. Practice them and learn them. And flow through step by step as you're doing this stuff, okay? So that's basically your cross arm stretch. Neck rotation. So let's get big rotations. Now the same thing. Same thing with rotations. Look, there's this rotation. Look at the chin. Always pointing up. Big. And then there's this rotation. Two rotations going on, right? The head's going like this while the neck is going like this. So know that. And I almost did it, but I didn't do it fully, is don't put your hands over the ears. Try to keep your hands behind the head. Wow, big. After you get that one, maybe bring this one too. And the other way, using my legs. And then stretch, okay? And then after that will be cross-arm neck side stretch. We did that. So cross-arm neck stretches and cross-arm neck side stretch. So this is cross-arm stretches here. And this is cross-arm neck side stretch. Okay? Two different styles. They do the same thing. Okay? And then neck stretches using towel. So the thing about the towel I want you guys to see the first time is how I grab it.
Walter, what's the fulcrum?
Oh, we forgot the fulcrum? Oh, here's the fulcrum, yeah. Thank you. Fulcrum goes up. It's similar to this, the physics of it, but watch. So I'm going to do that. I lift the neck up. I put that in there. See how I push that in there? Now watch this. I come up on my wrist, right? Push up, and I try to get the head to go over, back, the top of it. So watch this. As I keep pushing up. I'm still pushing up. Again.
So is it accentuating that curvature?
Yeah, really pushing up, and I'm really hitting those points on the sides of the neck. Now look, I can do it that way. Let's see if I can do it this way. Pushing up. Pushing up. But you have to keep the pressure up. See, look at this. The trick here is, look, see, I'm pushing my pressure up. Now when I go to put the head over, I'm not going to come down with my hand. I'm keeping that pressure up there. And just trying to get the neck to come over the back. Look how I'm still staying up as I get the neck to roll over the back.
So it's like pushing.
I mean, you've done this to more than one person. Like, are people that flexible?
Yeah, just do it slow. Just do it slow. And after you've opened them up, they should be able to do that. You know, the trick with the neck is to keep it long. And if they start to guard or something, just move slow. Just start to go back to your rolls. Like, you have to coax the neck. We all have neck issues, right? And then the next side stretches. Oh, then using a towel. So here's the towel thing. So when you grab the towel, right, the tendency is going to be to grab it this way, the way we're grabbing a branch. See that? Don't do that. If you grab the towel this way, you're going to have a hard time. Fingers on top, no good. Thumbs on top. That's how you grab the towel. Okay, so that's the first part. If you do that, you'll get this well. Come up. So go straight above, like this. This is a smaller towel, but I can still do it. Stretch back a little bit, leaning back, just opening up. I'm hooked on that occipital ridge, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch to this side. So you want to keep it long. So just get it open a little bit across the ear. 1, 2, 3. Come back up, stretch. 1, 2, 3.
That doesn't bother your face?
No, not really.
Okay.
Right there. If you get on the ear, it might be. And then if you go up too high, you'll slip off. Look through, and then I stretch through, and I just shake it a little bit. Shake it less and less. Stretch. And bring it down. Let me show you that again. Grab with thumbs on top. Stretch backward. And then we're going to stretch this way to the right. So I just kind of lift. I roll it the opposite way. Turn it over. Stretch. 1, 2, 3. Shake through. Stretch. 1, 2, 3. Stretch. Shaking. Looking beaky. And down. Okay. So that's the neck. I'm going to move on. You get to practice that. Let's move on to the face. So slide palms over